With Call of Duty and Battlefield still sitting pretty as the multiplayer games of choice and breeding a generation of ultra-competitive lone wolves intent on killing every other player on screen, maybe now's the time for multiplayer to get a bit friendlier. Maybe it's time for multiplayer to evolve. So we got the skinny on one of the first next-gen multiplayer games, Evolve, from producer Ian Willows.
Evolve is a 4 vs 1 competitive and cooperative shooter. It's set on a outer frontier planet called Sheer. The concept is that you've got 4 players who can play as a hunter team, who are trying to take down a monster, can also be controlled by a player.
So maybe it's not that big of an evolution. You are still out to kill another player after all. But Evolve is being developed by Turtle Rock Studios, the folks behind Left 4 Dead and Counter-Strike Condition Zero, so we're expecting the cooperative gameplay to be the real hook here. The premise is that your squad of 4 hunters are tasked with poaching a gigantic monster that's been terrorizing the planet before it can evolve to its highest level and lay waste to your base. Fortunately, each of your hunter squad members has a unique monster slaying skill, and you need to combine them all to effectively bring down the biggest game around.
We have 4 classes. One is the Assault class. The Assault class is the damage dealer, so it gets up close to the monster, deals as much damage as possible. The Support class is there to sort of give that advantage to the team in terms of offense and defense, so it has weapons such as an orbital barrage and shield and invisibility. The Medic is there to keep your team alive, so none of the team can regain health apart from the Medic giving them health, but also has different guns to try and give them an advantage as well, such as a trank gun which can tranquilize the monster and slow him down. And finally we have the Trapper class, and the Trapper class is there to try and corral the monster, to keep that monster in place.
At a reveal event in London, we got the chance to try out all 4 classes, and while each one comes with their own unique gizmos and a super mobile jetpack, for our money it is all about the Trapper. His mobile arena is an inspired gadget that deploys a huge holographic cage to hem the beastie in, so you can sort of create your own futuristic Eden project of death. And while you may not be directly damaging the monster or healing up your squad, there is immediate gratification to be found in ensnaring a titanic alien. And when it all goes well, you feel like an integral component in a well-oiled machine. On the flip side, life for the monster player is a lot more lonely. Their goal is to feed on the local wildlife, which fills up a meter that allows them to evolve, gaining new abilities and becoming much harder to kill in the process. So in the early game, it's mostly about avoiding the hunters, although some of their gadgets, your footprints and flocks of local birds can give away your position in the vast environment. But once a monster reaches the 3rd stage of evolution, their objective switches, and they have to take out a generator at the human base so they can get at the chewy civilians, being kept behind shields. We got to play as the hulking Goliath, and it was a far tenser experience than being one of the hunters, as the feeling of constantly being chased really kept you on edge. It also felt kind of clumsy when trying to smush the minuscule men peppering you with bullets, and therefore it was slightly frustrating, but you can kind of chalk that up to unfamiliarity. And also, Turtle Rock are planning on putting more monsters into the game too, so perhaps a nippy little one will negate the annoyance of being a cumbersome lump of blubber. It's early days anyway, and we're definitely keen to see more of Evolve before it launches this autumn.